Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about the standard metagame, taken from 5-0s in leagues and top 32s in challenges. And standard has been in flux since the bannings a month or so ago, where they banned Invoke Despair, Fable the Mirror Breaker, and Reckoner Bankbuster in an attempt to finally neuter the black mid-range decks, specifically the red-black decks. And yes, they neutered the red-black decks. There was no more reason to play red because Fable the Mirror Breaker was gone. But even with Invoke Despair and Reckoner Bankbuster and Meatcoat Massacre from quite a few months ago gone, black decks are still doing a great job. So let's check out the standard metagame. At the top, by a pretty wide margin, is Mono Black Midrange and Demir Midrange, followed by Esper Control. So let's talk about these three decks. Mono Black Midrange is sort of what you'd expect. Plays a Vault Sleeper, Tenacious Underdog, Graveyard Trespasser, Shieldred behind a bunch of removal spells. So it can have some really aggressive hands backed up by removal, and it can have some mid-rangey hands where they stop what you're doing first and then slam a Shieldred or a Graveyard Trespasser or something. Unfortunately, this Mono Black deck is still just playing some of the best cards in Standard, and in doing so is still dominating Standard. In fact, the same Mono Black Midrange player, as I'm recording this video, has top-8'd 4 challenges in a row with Mono Black Midrange, one person. And if you look at just like top 32s in these challenges, Mono Black Midrange is just populating it so dramatically. Very strong deck. Demir Midrange takes a little bit of the lessons from Mono Black, but attempts to add some blue to it by playing Fairy Mastermind, Airtie Resurrected, and Make Disappear to kind of help out with that mid-range plan. Now, it takes away a little bit of the consistency that Mono Black has, but adds a little bit more power. Being able to actually counter your opponent's spells really matters against decks like Ramp and like Control and things like that. And being able to play a little bit as a flash deck if you want to is really cool. But I consider them sort of sister decks with each other. This Demir Midrange is just like Mono Black with like Counter Magic and Fairy Mastermind. And then the third most popular deck is Esper Control. Esper Control is exactly what it sounds like. It is a counterspell, Wandering Emperor, Planeswalker, removal spell, board wipe control deck that is attempted to control and then finish with Wandering Emperor tokens in the super deep late game. Or like Mirex tokens, I guess you can use from the lands or something like that. There's not much to say about this deck, except it's really good at what it does, and it's really important to always have a plan against it. So let's look at the top 8 metagame then, and see if it's any different. Because there were 2 challenges this past weekend, and the top 8 metagame, unfortunately, is not that different. First place is Mono Black Midrange, second place is Esper Control, just by a little bit, and then third place is Demir Midrange. So the most popular decks are equating to the most winning decks, which actually doesn't always happen. That's kind of interesting. Now, if you like this video and want to see more videos like this, more short metagame analysis, please be sure to like and subscribe. I do these every week. Please check me out on social medias. I really appreciate it, especially on Discord and Twitter. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.